Hi everyone, my name's Natalie and here is a come shop with me at Farmfoods. This is the road that the sat-nav took us down. The new store is in Glasgow. In fact, they have 3 new stores in Glasgow and this is said to be one of the biggest. I knew I had to go and see it because we always go and shop at Farmfoods and I wanted to see what this store was like. It's not too far away from us and as you can see it is actually really big. It doesn't look that big from the outside, but once you get in there it is huge. So we decided to pop in. I did end up getting a couple of those pizzas. They were 99p each. There was also some chicken in there that was 99p for 1.2 kilograms. Some chicken legs, but they were mint and herb, and I don't think the children would have had that as much. They love chicken, so I didn't end up picking that up. Again, the sauces, this whole aisle was basically just had every single different sauce that you could think of. So I picked up one of the tomato sauces. We needed some eggs, but I ended up dropping these in the end when I got home, which wasn't very good. Even though our freezer is quite empty compared to usual, I didn't end up getting much freezer stuff. I think I just got distracted by everything else that was in the shop. There is the 8 for £10. That is similar to the Iceland one. So if you don't have an Iceland near you, then Farmfoods have the same offer on at the moment. And they have, I think it's a bigger choice range that they have. Also, a lot more of the items are in stock there. As it is a new store, I found that the stock was completely full. With other stores, I find that the bargains, they go quite quickly, and even if you see a deal online, by the time that you get there, it's actually already sold out. But that wasn't the case here. I didn't see any empty shelves or any empty areas, which is always really good. Seasoning wise, of course, they had loads. They always seem to. These were 9p. This was the first of the 9p bargains. And then I also picked up some of these like cook in the bag seasonings. We haven't tried the Coleman's before, but we've tried other ones and they're really good. Had so many curry sauces. I've still got quite a few in the cupboard, so I didn't end up picking them up. But there's lots of the pastes and the sauces. Plus, as you can see here, this whole aisle was just covered in different sauces. Kiefer really wanted those crisps, and then she ended up picking a few more things up through the shop. I meant to pick up 2 packs of these Jaffa cakes, but for some reason I only got 1. Prime there, 2 for £1, and they also had the cases, and I think it was a case of 10 for £4.99. My children, even though the hype's gone down a little bit, still really enjoy Prime, but I didn't pick them up as I'm trying my hardest not to encourage it, although at that price it is a lot better than buying it from the shop. Got some of these chicken nuggets. I was going to get the 3 for 16, but these ones were only £5 and I thought they would be good for the kids. I picked up some of the smoked sausages. I always get them when we go to Farmfoods as they're 2 for £2.50, and that's often a lot cheaper than it is at other stores. They also had all of these toys, which they do have toys in the other stores, but again, this seemed to be a bigger selection. Those cups and plates, we actually bought those when they were £1.99. It was a while ago, but they're now £4.99, and we did end up getting Kiva something from here, as obviously she's seen quite a few things that she wanted, and we ended up with that shopping trolley for her. I picked up this set for our bed. I know it's summer, but at £5 I thought we can just put it away to winter, and it was a good price for the double. Another thing is the staff were absolutely lovely. Kiva likes to talk to people, so she'll say hello to everybody when we go past them, and she's just a really confident young girl. So she was talking away to the staff, and she ended up speaking to all the people in the shop too. So when we were about to go, everyone was saying bye to her because she'd had that much of a conversation with them, which was really cute. Here are some more items. So there's a bedding that I got, but there's a big selection of non-food items there too. And that wasn't all of it. There was like some special buys near the end. I got 4 more of these pizza sauces. They are completely out of stock in our local, but they were fully stocked there. So I got 4 of those as they were really good last time. This whole aisle here, this bit, was just full of sweets. There was cakes, biscuits, you name it, and it was there. And that's another thing about this store. Because it's bigger, I find that it's a bit more organised. So everything is in one place rather than being scattered around or put together. So it's all separated into different categories, which makes it a lot easier to shop. And to be honest, that's what this shop turned into. I just ended up getting a lot of snacky items, which is the main reason why we go to Farmfoods, as we often find it a lot cheaper than other stores. These Mix Max, I haven't been able to find the original ones in quite a long time, but they seem to be coming back into shops now, which is good because it is the children's favourite type of those cakes. And you can see here just how far the store stretches. That was just the second aisle, and I had already got quite a lot in my trolley. The thing I do find is either the prices are really, really good or they are quite similar to other shops. There's no sort of in between. But I got some of these cookies, and then we got the tea cakes, biscuits, those cakes. Then they have all these different types of Oreos. I didn't pick them up this time as I think the children are going a little bit off them. And then this is where the second lot of 9p bargains came from. Although it didn't say it, so it shows here they're 79p. These salted caramel fingers went through at 9p a packet, which had I known, obviously at the time, I probably would have picked up quite a few more packets. But if you are going there, they're scanning at 9p at the moment, which I thought was really good. So this was another aisle of freezer food. A lot was pizzas. They do always have a lot of pizzas there, and that's usually where we pick our pizzas up from. That's all the Heinz stuff. Again, it's still 2 for £2, which I think is a fair price. I think it's about the same as other shops when it's on offer. This is all the vegetarian food, which is 2 freezers full, which is quite a lot compared to our local store. We did end up getting this big pizza. Now these are $1.99 here. I don't know if they've changed prices, as I'm sure in our local they were $3.99. We haven't brought them for a little while though, so I could be wrong. But I just got one of those tuna because we always go through so much tuna, and that has one more in it than the ones that you get from the normal supermarkets. This is all the fish. Again, we have fish, so I didn't bother getting any of those. I was going to get some of these pizzas, the Peppa Pig pizzas, but it was 3 for £6, and from what I could see, it was 2 pizzas in the box, so I thought that was quite expensive, even though there is that novelty of it being Peppa Pig. We have so much pasta, but I always try and pick up some pasta while I'm there. We are trying to stock up the cupboards just in case and start building a bit of a store. There was quite a lot of fish there, but we do already have some in the freezer, so I didn't bother getting those even though they were quite good prices. Again, with the noodles, I picked up another 2 packets. We still have some from the last couple of times that I've been, but I'm just trying to build up that store. They say to have 3 days. We're starting to get there now for that. I want to build up more. We have like a big kitchen cupboard because it's overtaken my food cupboards at the moment. So we have a longer kitchen cupboard that's in the utility area, and I'm going to clean that out as at the moment it's got stored clothes in it. So I'm going to change that all up, and then I'm just going to make that into like a little pantry area to store all of these extra bits that we're getting, because it's getting a bit out of control now in our normal cupboards. Again, I didn't get any of the potato sides as I'm just finding it a lot easier to make our own from potatoes. And looking at these prices, quite often it's over £3 now for a bag of chips. And obviously with being a big family, it takes quite a lot of that to make a meal for us. So it's definitely a lot cheaper to do it separately. Then we got some of this juice. I don't usually buy them fizzy pop, but once in a while is not going to matter as a little treat. And even though it was Kiva that asked for these, she obviously won't be drinking them because she's still only little, so she doesn't have fizzy pop at all. So again, there was lots and lots of sauces on this aisle. I'd already got the tomato sauce from the start when we first walked in, but I thought I would pick up, I was actually going to get the Hellman's barbecue, and then I noticed that they had this barbecue for 99p, which is still a good brand name. So I picked that one up and we'll see what that is like. They had lots of starring sauces, but they were on the cooking sauce aisle. And here you go. There's so many more different brands there. So I'm sure you'll be able to find the one that you like. There's also pot noodles. I was tempted to get the crate. It was 2 for £15. My children never used to eat pot noodles. They didn't used to like them. And now they're turned into teenagers. It's like overnight, they suddenly are eating them now. So I picked up 5 of those katsu curry ones as they were 49p, and I thought that they'd like them. They like anything that's curry. Ice creams is another thing that we always get from Farmfoods, as they always have some sort of offer on some. Some of them can be quite expensive. Again, it's just looking around for the bargains. So I ended up picking up these Twister ones for 99p, as the children really like those ones. And it's strange because those ones are 99p, but then the other ones that are just a different flavour are 1.99 or 2.99, so I'll stick to those ones. We did also end up with some of these squashums. They were £1.49, but that was another purchase from my little helper. She was insistent that those were the ones that she wanted, and they were still quite a good price, so I put those in for her. I was tempted to get some of these magnums, but my children don't like the variations. They only like the original ones, and they are still 2 for £5, I think they were. So I didn't bother getting those in the end. Here are all the juices. There's Capri Suns, Squashums, Prime. That's where the Prime cases were, but we didn't pick up any of those. I did get some fruit shoots for the children for on the way home. So this was only the end of the fad aisle, and as you can probably see, the trolley is getting quite full. This was another little helper purchase, but all of the children like it. Well, not all of them, half of them like it. So when we sit down and have our movie night, they will share that. So I didn't mind her picking that up. There's still 2 more aisles to go, and as I said, my trolley's quite full. I should really take Markin with me, or maybe even one of the bigger kids, so we can get 2 trolleys. I also didn't pack the trolley very well, so everything's sort of just thrown in there, and I probably could have got more in if I had organised it a little bit better. Crisps, sometimes I find Farmfoods really hit and miss for crisps. Some of them are very similar, so like the Watsits, the Quavers, they're all 2 for £2.50 or 2 for £3, and you can quite often get those offers in the normal supermarkets too. They do have the bigger packs of Quavers and Watsits and like the big family packs, but I ended up getting the Walkers ones, some of the Pom Bears for Neve as they are her favourite, and I haven't seen these Transformers for quite a long time, so I decided to pick up 2 packs of those as well. I think they were 2 for £2.25 or 2 for £2.50, so they ended up being £1.25 each, which is quite reasonable for the crisps. I did want to get some of the Space Raiders, but I didn't see the multi-packs, and they're another one that the children really like, but they seem to have sort of disappeared off the shelves. Again, there's just so many snacks. They had all of the crusts in one place. Usually it's mixed in with all the chocolates and things, but they had it all there together, which made it a lot easier to shop. For the bread items, they had a bigger selection, but still not as much as they used to have. I only got one lot of the bread as we have some at home. And then I got 2 packs of the muffins. They were two for £1.40, and the children just like that in the morning. And it's something quick that I can cook before they go to school and they're still getting a hot breakfast. I got the last 2 packets of those. That always seems to be the case later in the day. I don't know what's like in the morning, as I don't often get there in the morning, but I find that they're quite often out of stock if I do go later in the day. All of these juices, they were all on offer. We don't tend to buy them like that just because we don't have the space, as Mark does drink quite a lot of iron brew, so it would probably work out better to do it like that. But honestly, I don't have anywhere to put them, and I'm sure the children would go through them a lot quicker. There was those Milky Way and Mars bar croissants that I was quite tempted to get, but I did behave and didn't buy them, although they look quite interesting, and I've not seen them before, actually. Then for the fruit, they actually had the fruit in a fridge, which is unusual for farm foods. Usually it's just placed at the front, well, in our local store. It is anyway. So I was quite glad that it was in the fridge this time, but I still only picked up the apples. The apples were 1.2 kilograms for 99p, as I just don't find that the fruit is that good quality compared to Morrison's and Sainsbury's. I don't know if you've seen before, but there was a KitchenAid there and it was £1.99, and I'm sort of wishing that I got it now. I was thinking about it at the time, but obviously it's quite a big purchase and we go on holiday soon, so I decided not to pick it up, but it would have come in useful. Again, I didn't really need much fudge stuff as we had just been to Aldi a couple of days before, so I didn't pick up much, just some butter and some cheese. While we were talking to the staff, they actually says that our local store is going to be done up again, so I'm hoping that there'll be more options there when that's done, but I think it's still in the works, so I don't know how long that's going to actually take to do. Again, with the fridge items, some of the prices are really good, and then some of them are just similar to the offers you can get in different supermarkets. This, I'd sort of missed out an aisle here, so instead of going down the third aisle, I went straight down the fourth. This is the bottom part of the third aisle, and they had all the baby wipes, and the bigger packs were on offer for 2 for £15. So I was going to get some of those, but my trolley was too full by that point. Again, with the cereal, they have every single cereal you can think of, plus more that I've never seen. Again, there was Peppa Pig cereal there, but I wasn't going to get it just because it was Peppa Pig, although I'm sure the children would have loved it. I did get some of these caramel Weetos. They were £1 for the box. The children didn't really like the orange ones last time, so I'm not sure if they are going to enjoy those ones, but for £1 I thought we would just give them a go anyway. Finally, we got to the last part, and that was all of the chocolates and sweets. That's a similar layout to where we normally go, but they definitely had a lot more. Again, I didn't really pick up much here. We already had a lot in the trolley, but I got some Kit Kats, and then we also got some of these little chocolate bars. They don't taste like the branded ones, but they're less than half the price of them, and the children still like them, so I didn't really mind that. Then I was tempted to get these little sweet jars that were 49p, which are down here, but in the end I didn't pick them up as they're bonbons, so they're not too good for the children's teeth. So I decided against that, but it would be good for like little party favours or something if you were arranging that. Then we got some of these Iron Brew freezer balls, and then some of these ones too, as we had those last times and the children really enjoyed them. Next is just a few household bits. So elbow grease, the best cleaning spray, and this was only £2.99, so I picked up that too. So we spent £94 in total. I used the £5 off £60 spend voucher. That took it down to £89, and so many of you commented to remind me to do the vouchers, so thank you, because I remembered this time and it does make that difference. I would definitely go back again. It is only for certain items, it's not for everything, but there are enough bargains there that it's worth taking a trip once in a while to go and fill it up. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe if you like this type of video.